Saunders, a beautiful ball. Still Terry Cooper. Push out, a hat-trick for Mills, surely! It's driven, and it's gone in from Armstrong. Souness. Oh, beautiful shot by Graham Souness.
Welcome to Middlesbrough Match of the 70s, a nostalgic trip down memory lane, guaranteed to warm the heart of all Borough supporters. To help bring those memories back to life, we recruited the help of two of Borough's biggest names from a golden decade. Willie Madron, one of the greatest players ever to pull on the famous red shirt. And Jim Platt, in Jack Charlton's own words, one of the greatest goalkeepers ever to come out of Ireland. People have fond memories of the 70s. Why do you think they were so special?
I think it was probably a little bit more relaxed, you know, you had a little bit more time to play perhaps in the modern game. There seemed to be more characters around. There was a lot of good individual players, you know, I think about Tony Curry, Trevor Francis, Kevin Keegan, you know, those names trip off the tongue, don't they? And, you know, the picture was obviously, you played the game on a wider spectrum in those days, and there was a lot of good flowing passing movements, and I think people remember it for that. The game's got quicker. I'm not saying it's any worse, any better now. It was a different type of football in the 70s.
We like to think we played in the best Middlesbrough team, you know, that's debatable, and you can't really compare. People before us probably thought they played in the best team. The game's certainly faster now. It'll never get any slower, it'll get faster. I don't know how fast it's going to get, but it's definitely faster now. Maybe we couldn't keep up with the modern game, well, I don't know, but it's certainly faster.
I couldn't.
No. But I mean, certainly in the 70s, I mean, my fondest memory is obviously getting promotion to the First Division.
Promotion to the top flight came in May 1974, when Jack Charlton led Borough to the Second Division Championship in his first season.
Armstrong, the player behind Craigs. Oh, it deflected off the wall. So the goal will go down to Johnny Craigs. And it came off the wall past the goalkeeper who had moved the other way. Johnny Craigs' third goal of the season.
Foggan with Craigs on his right. Murdoch. Owen, Foggan going well. And David Mills, a great shot. Brilliant turn, and they've got it. And there's the whistle from Mr. Spencer, and the Second Division Championship is Middlesbrough's. There's Jack Charlton, his first season as a manager. He hasn't got a contract, but my word, he's got a tremendous prize. The goal from Mills, his 11th of the season, clinched it. Middlesbrough are the champions.
We've never really shown the type of ambition over the years that they are now. And I sometimes wish they had have done in my time. You know, we had a really good side. A lot of people say one of the best ever. And we never really went out and spent and bought the genuine article at the time when they had, in my opinion, that we should have won the championship the first year we got up.
We did feel strongly that in that season we had a good team. When we got promotion, we were probably the best team to get promotion for years, and maybe still are, because we won the Second Division by 15 points, and then it was only 2 points for a win, so it was a hell of an achievement now.
So once again it's Hudson picking up the short pass for Stoke and finding Greenough. Playing with so much confidence, Alan Hudson. Now Mahoney. Hudson again. Appeal against both, the handball it's given. Penalty. Number 5, Bone the offender, and the referee had no doubt at all. And Mills being persuaded not to protest because the referee's already booked 2 Middlesbrough players. And it's down to Jim Platt now to try to stop the penalty. John Ritchie to take it. And as the referee ran back to the centre, 1 or 2 protests followed him from Middlesbrough players. But Ritchie gives Stoke the lead. Ritchie. Mahoney. This is Marsh. And this is Hudson. Armstrong's got Hickson going to his right, number 9. Souness to Murdoch. That's for Craggs, who got well forward. Mills. Souness. Oh, beautiful shot by Graham Souness. Just what Middlesbrough wanted, an immediate reply. John Craggs, the fullback, had got well forward, as he tends to do, had a hand in the move. The ball came back to Souness, and what a beautiful shot, beating Farmer right in the corner.
It might seem a bit of an idle boast, but we were very tight defensively, but just need to score a few more goals. We were joint top of the league at Christmas, but we weren't scoring enough goals away from home, and had we have done so, I think we could have won it that year.
So Middlesbrough kick off then, attacking the goal to our left, on the ground where on September the 11th they put 4 past Tottenham in the League Cup. And in fact, they've got a very good record away from home, Middlesbrough. They've only lost 1 away from home this season, that's at Sheffield United. They've already won at Birmingham, they've won at Carlisle, they've won at Tottenham as well, and they lost that free kick there on Ralph Coates by the number 3, Frank Spraggan. And an offside decision against Martin Chivers. There's Jim Platt, the big Irish goalkeeper from Middlesbrough. They've conceded only 6 in 9 games, so he's obviously done a very good job. Mills, delicate footwork again. Souness to Craggs. Graham Souness again. Cut out by Cyril Knowles for Tottenham. Oh, what a bad ball, straight to Souness. Craggs. Ball going off Philip Beale, so it's a throw to Middlesbrough, which Bobby Murdoch's going to take. Played short there, good run though by Mills, and it cannons off Beale. Perryman. And now Ralph Coates. We thought about playing that back to Jennings, it's as well that he didn't. Good play by Mike England, and now Ray Evans for Tottenham. Peters has gone on bursting ahead. Chivers allowed it to go to him. Tried to touch it back to Martin Chivers. Now Chivers. Oh, Evans are more than a foot wide. Chivers and Peters working that well. Chivers spotting the opening, a really powerful drive, a foot wide. A jump by Mills, a touch by Murdoch, a whack by Craggs, and young Alan Willey there again, only 17 years old. Turned inside, what a good run, a chance here for Armstrong! Yes! 1-0 to Middlesbrough. Well, out of defence it came. And a defence-splitting pass so far as Spurs were concerned, and it found the number 11, David Armstrong. And as Jennings came out, he slipped it past him, just inside that far post. 1-0 to Middlesbrough. Chivers played back for Ralph Coates. Crossed in again, a good piece of running there by Jimmy Neighbour. Yes! What a fine goal by Jimmy Neighbour, making it 1-1 with it's gone. A beautiful cross there from the left, and Neighbour darted in so swiftly, took the defender, and before Platt, the goalkeeper, could react, it was in the roof of the Middlesbrough net, and that makes it 1-1. Peters played on for Chivers again, maybe just a little too delicate in that situation, but it's fallen for Tottenham, and here's John Pratt. No, that won't reach Coates. Perryman in quickly, and he loses it to Souness, the short pass that's accurate to Murdoch, and the long one that he hopes will get Mills away, and Beale goes in, and Mills is there! Well, that was a mistake by Tottenham, and the number 8, David Mills, and Philip Beale was the culprit there for Tottenham. Beale with the back pass that didn't reach Jennings allowed Mills to come in and make it 2-1 for Middlesbrough. Coates, Perryman forward. Oh, and there's a fall from Martin Chivers. Here's the chance for Tottenham. And what a tremendous save by Platt. Well, that was certainly a mistake there by Willie Madron. It allowed Martin Chivers in, and it seemed as though he deliberated maybe a little too long, but that was a superb piece of goalkeeping by Jim Platt. Well, that would have been a brilliant start to the second half for Tottenham. Knowles. John Pratt to Cyril Knowles, and Pratt didn't really expect it, but he recovered quickly enough and found Peters with a good pass. Played on for Martin Chivers. Oh, and what a tremendous save again by Platt. What a lovely ball from Peters, though. Absolutely inch perfect there for Chivers, and Chivers was onto it like a flash. Brilliant goalkeeping. And Souness finding Murdoch. What a good run there by Fogan, and beautifully taken by him. Played into space, but in fact Mills was offside. But again, the perfect illustration of those Middlesbrough breakouts. Neighbour. Crossing again towards Martin Peters. Well, Middlesbrough really let him go, and I'm sure that if Peters realised that he was in that sort of space... No, there wasn't offside. No, there wasn't. Well, I'm sure if Peters had known he was in that sort of space and onside, he would have probably made a little more of that. It's with Armstrong. Fogan again running down that touchline for him. Souness. Played off again for Souness. And now for Murdoch, but Beale is there, but Craggs can play it on again. It'll come again for Murdoch. Oh, what a nice little sidestep, and then hitting it straight at Mike England. Fogan. Well, he made that look a lot worse than it was, and he didn't fool Jack Taylor. Madron's header. Pratt, Neighbour, Knowles. Neighbour again. Very neat control there by Jimmy Neighbour. There's the curling cross, and no trouble though for Platt. Bobby Murdoch to David Armstrong. Inside for Graham Souness now for Middlesbrough. Murdoch again. Craggs has come away on the right. What a good placed pass there by Murdoch. And a corner. John Craggs. They do say that Bobby Murdoch, the Middlesbrough number 7, is one of the best passers of the ball in the game. The man going across to take the corner now. So much experience with Celtic. And he's trimmed down a lot in the last couple of years, and his passing is as accurate and as sure as ever. He's had a lot to do with Middlesbrough's success over the last season or so, and there's his corner. Fogan hitting it down, and that was belted away off the line by Ray Evans. From the corner by Murdoch. Beautifully struck, though, by Fogan. And Evans clearing. Now it's with Knowles. Chivers, a nice little layoff that time for Perryman, and they're not coming for Perryman, so he can let the shot go, and it bobbled just a yard or so in front of Jim Platt. But his goalkeeping technique, the elementary thing was right, his body was behind it. A push in the back by Beale on Mills, whereas you would have given pretty good odds for Spurs getting right back in this game the way they played in the first 10 minutes or so of the second half. Having seen those chances go to waste, they're just that little bit dispirited at the moment, unable to put their game together coming forward. And here's Coates. Certainly not made easy for them by the fact that Middlesbrough really are pulling men back whenever there's the slightest whiff of danger. Here's Foggen to Murdoch. Alan Foggen again. Mills off in pursuit, so too is Beale. Yes, it's a Middlesbrough throw. Which John Craggs will take. Good long throw that into that Spurs 6-yard area, and it's not away yet by any means. Foggen turning it in. My goodness, how has it that stayed out? Craggs going in there again, and it still only comes as far as Murdoch, and he's missed it, and Chivers has picked it up. Now it's with Cyril Knowles, played on for Martin Chivers. Now can Spurs make a Middlesbrough-type break out of defence? Chivers going a long way, and picking up Jimmy Neighbour on the far side. There's the shot by Neighbour, just past the post. Well, that was a better sweeping move by Spurs, who had looked well out of it for the last 10 minutes or so. Philip Beale right up there now for Tottenham. And it's another throw. This time Chivers is staying in the goal area. He's not going to try a long throw. Beale to Peters. Over his head. Can Chivers rise to that one? He can't. Can Neighbour get in? Now it's with John Pratt. Chivers on the turn. What a good shot there by Chivers, and still Pratt hasn't got to it. And still, and was it a handball? No, it's a corner. The crowd behind that goal. Chivers and Peters are both saying that was handball. But Jack Taylor gives a corner and not a penalty. Well, from this position it was impossible to see, but Jack Taylor was there and he gave no penalty. But it's a corner which Neighbour will take. Inside the last 10 minutes now. And Platt came out but couldn't reach it. Perryman getting it back to Philip Beale. Evans. Peters up. Beale right in there, linking up much more with the attack now, Phil Beale. And a throw to Middlesbrough. Well, there's a nice little chance for Foggen. If he can get away from Mike England, he's going well, and Jennings has had to come out. He showed far too much of it in the end to the goalkeeper. Beale winning that one as well. Playing it for Chivers. And now for Beale again. Here's Chivers. And will that go for Perryman? No, Bohm is there, and Perryman was in, and it's a corner. There really is no lack of effort whenever Steve Perryman's playing. They really didn't have too much of a chance with that one, but he created this corner, and there's the cross coming in. And again, and Chivers is there with a header! How on earth did Craggs hit that one away? How on earth did Craggs react in that tremendously acrobatic way that looked a goal all over? Here's another one coming in, and that time it was fisted away by Platt. And that's got the crowd going now. They thought Spurs were right out of it. But now There's a bit of relief for Middlesbrough with 3 minutes to go. Well, certainly Jim Platt has pulled off some tremendous saves in that game, but he really was beaten to the wide with that Chivers header. And he's got to thank his number 2, John Craggs. Goodness knows how he got there to head that away. Now begins to look like the first defeat for new manager Terry Neal. Bohm again, head and shoulders above Martin Peters. Perryman slicing it here for Knowles. Knowles lucky to get a second chance. Neighbour, who lifted Spurs' hopes so brightly after that first Middlesbrough goal. Here's Chivers. And now Ray Evans. Coates. Oh, what a nice little dummy by Coates. Here's the cross again. Chivers there, Peters there, and neither of them could do anything about it. As the whistle goes for full time, and it's defeat for Tottenham, and those 2 breakaway goals for Middlesbrough. A good, solid team performance by Jack Charlton's team, with goals by Mills and Armstrong for Middlesbrough, and 2 tremendous saves early in the second half from the Middlesbrough goalkeeper Jim Platt, all adding up to a final scoreline here at White Hart Lane, reading Spurs 1, Middlesbrough 2.
We've got a quote from Jack Charlton, who says you were the best goalkeeper ever to come out of Ireland, even better than Pat Jennings.
You've got a quote, well, I must say it. Yeah, at that time when Jack made the quote, I remember making it because I was in the Northern Ireland squad and Pat Jennings has always been number 1. And at that time I was playing well. You have your ups and downs at that particular time, and Jack was obviously trying to boost my career, and it was nice of him to say that.
He pulled us out of trouble there, trouble that we created ourselves. There were 2 bad mistakes by our back 4. Not bad mistakes, unlucky mistakes, let's put it that way. But he pulled it out.
Well, that was certainly a mistake there by Willie Madron, but that was a superb piece of goalkeeping by Jim Platt. Played on for Martin Chivers. Oh, and what a tremendous save again by Platt.
He's easily, by far, the best Northern Ireland goalkeeper at the moment.
Now, come on, Pat Jennings at the other end.
Pat's a good goalkeeper, but he's not as good as Jim now.
And that is praise indeed for Jack, because Jack didn't give too many people much praise.
No. The nicest thing he ever said to me was I was crap one day after. Yeah. That was the only time he ever spoke to me.
He probably remembered your name that day.
Yeah, he used to call me Tony McGandra, didn't he, for the first 4 months I was at the club. The first 4 months he was at the club.
Oh, it's nice to get praise from your manager and someone who, I mean, Jack is the best manager I've played under, and I have a lot of respect for him.
That's right.
And again. I don't believe it, and nobody in this ground believes it. Alan Fogarty will never forgive himself for that. Saunus. I think Hinton himself has hit the post and could have injured himself. No, he's all right. Fortunately, he's all right. That was a splendid move. Hutchison. Finally put in a bit of trouble there to Lloyd. And Oki gone right up into the attack. Steen is onside, and it's a goal. And a sucker punch caught. Middlesbrough that time, they're appealing for hands. Steen, who'd been limping for some time, beautifully positioned on the far side of the box, and moved in, took his time, brought the ball under control with his hands, say Middlesbrough, with the referee to agree, and it's 1-0 for Coventry.
Mills. Craggs. Saunders, a beautiful ball. And that is the sort of goal that the football spectators love to see. I thought Craggs was overdoing it, as he was bringing the ball inside and then just slipping it square to Graham Saunders, and what a tremendous shot from this Scottish midfield player. Foul in the end by Mortimer on Armstrong. Promising player David Armstrong is. Mortimer, the man that gave away the free kick, perilously close to the penalty area. 11 Coventry men back in defence. Armstrong to Saunders, and an own goal. And that free kick teed up for Graham Saunders. He hit it well, and unfortunately Graham Oakley right in the line of fire, in off his knee. 2-1. Middlesbrough lead. Saunders across to Murdoch. It is Craggs moving on the right. Here's Craggs. Oh, lovely running by Foggan and Hickton. 3-1. That was lovely floated ball into the middle. One thought that Foggan should have turned it into the net, and up comes Hickton to make it 3-1. Hutchison to Alderson. Catlin. Cross has scored. Well, and that is an incredible goal. Cross getting up high as the ball came over. He must have felt certain that Platt would catch it. But Platt didn't. And so Cross, with a well-timed jump, took us all by surprise. And 55 minutes, it's 3-2 now. A bit of slack play by Middlesbrough then. That second Coventry goal seems to have knocked a bit of the stuffing out of them. And here's Holmes, and it's 3-3. A lovely flick from Alderson. And slack defensive play by Craggs. And Holmes running on from that flick by Alderson. And Middlesbrough have thrown away their advantage. 18 minutes into the second half, and it's 3-3. Chris Catlin. Willie Madron, the bright young stars of English football. Now Mills, he ran beautifully on the blind side and a fine save, but that's it. The scorer, but the man who really made it was Mills by his lovely running. He anticipated that ball, and a fine save by the goalkeeper, but Foggan running up. It's 4-3, 18 minutes left. Catlin. And Holmes, he scored! And that Middlesbrough defence just standing around 4 minutes from the end. And the ball running loose, no Middlesbrough defender moves to it, and Holmes is able to make ground and almost toe-end it into the back of the net to make it 4-4.
Souness. Oh, beautiful shot by Graham Souness.
How big an influence was Graham Souness on that team?
To be fair, he was a bit of an enigma. When he first came, you wouldn't have thought he could tackle a fish supper. And he suddenly developed this nastiness, or, you know, this aggression from being a ball player, which he obviously was. He was a great passer of the ball.
He was arrogant when he first came on.
Yeah, I got on well with him. I looked past his arrogance. I used to sort of, I was a pleasant Mickey taker, if you like, and I just treat him as one of the lads like everybody else. I was a bit frightened when he brought the hairdryer out, man, the first time I slept with him.
And he dyed his hair as well.
Yeah, well, it was the first time us northern lads had seen somebody produce a hairdryer.
They do it now, but...
It's commonplace now, but I can remember I slept with one eye on him, one eye closed, so I thought, who is this guy that's come from
You change your bed partners after that.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, he was a fabulous player. I think he was a great influence on that team, you know, for many years. I think the tragedy with Graham, people remembered him more for his cynical side, and in my opinion, he was the best passer of the ball I ever played with, and I include that, you know, against Bobby Murdoch. Bobby was a great player, but Graham had a slightly better range of passing, in my opinion, probably a better all-round player.
Praise indeed, but Souness was prone to making the occasional blunder, as he did in our next match against Sunderland, when his passing was way off the mark.
It's given Mills something to chase, but again, the wind stopped it. Hallam. Souness has given it to Kerr. What a mistake! Well saved. Robson scores. Sunderland going to the lead after 10 minutes of play. What a mistake by Graham Souness that put Sunderland in for that goal. The first shot from Kerr was turned back beautifully by the goalkeeper, but he had no chance with the second one from Pop Robson. Sunderland going to the lead. Lucky. This is Robson. Well, Malone kept it in, but put Armstrong away. Picton to Spraggan. And now Willie Medron. That could have been very dangerous. Craggs. That could have been dangerous too. Spraggan coming forward for Middlesbrough. Mills comes to Souness. Souness, a lovely ball. Murdoch, it's a goal. Beautiful goal. Beautiful, beautiful goal. Started by Souness, the man who gave one away earlier on. They played that great. The ball was laid off at exactly the right pace, and Bobby Murdoch made no mistake just inside that right-hand post. It's 1 goal each, and there's 5 minutes left in this first half. Kerr. Comes as far as Bolton. Spraggan to Craggs. Mills. Taken down. It must be a penalty. Mills taken down by Trevor Swinburne. The ball had bounced very well for him. It looked suspiciously like offside, but he did get through. And when he got through, Trevor Swinburne took him down. So it's still Mills who's been causing all the problems. And now a penalty for Middlesbrough. Picton. Just makes it 2-1, only just. Swinburne read it right, he got his hand to it, but the force of the shot took it over the line. Middlesbrough lead then by 2 goals to 1, a great comeback, and Hickton, who's been showing a lot of force up front, is the man who scores from the penalty. That, I wonder why he didn't catch it. That's Murdoch. Good ball, they were in their own half. It's Mills, David Mills, who's got the chance. He's taken down again. Is it another penalty? It is. It was very, very close. But Mr. Mathewson has given it. He checked with his linesman. Penalty number 2 for Hickton, goal number 3 for Middlesbrough. The score, Middlesbrough 3, Sunderland 1.
Checking the game inside out. I mean, he was absolutely fabulous at half-time. He could come in and change the game around by saying, you know, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, we have to do this, we change it. He was absolutely brilliant at that.
But he kept coming out with the golden carrots, didn't he? There was no real financial reward. He said, if you win 3 games on the trot, we'll get you a club blazer. So we would do that, win 3 games, and the next thing, if you win another 3 games, we'll get you the slacks to go with it. Yeah. And then there was a tie and a shirt, and I think over the course of the season, we got the full outfit.
Stuart Bohm has gone up to join the big men in the middle. It's curling out. It was Madron who got there. The deflection for goal. 2 deflections. Not just 1 deflection, but 2. Hickton, the man who will probably be credited with the goal. Hickton found himself a very useful bit of space. McAllister across. That's 2. Souness. Made by Hickton, finished by Souness. Another well-weighted and flighted ball for the sub-Willie. Right across, coming out to Souness. 3. A mistake by Cyril Knowles, and it's Souness' 2nd goal of the game.
You look back as a bit of a disappointment because we all knew what we were capable of achieving that year, and an extra 10 goals may well have seen us win the championship.
Certainly got us into Europe,
yeah, that's right. Well, I think we missed out on Europe by a goal difference. I think Stoke got up instead of us. But again, it was a great season. I remember going to Derby early doors, who eventually won the championship. We beat Derby 3-2 at Derby, and we drew 1-1 at home, and that was the infamous time where Jack threw the milk crate at Stewart.
Yeah, because he gave away a bad goal.
Stu, I think, gave a square pass, and Kevin Hector intercepted it, scored in just about the last minute, and it really never had a kick all the game. And when you look back, they won it on goal difference. And that was the difference, winning and losing it at that time.
Stapleton coming across. Bryan for Mills, and down he goes. That will be a free kick. The foul by Sammy Nelson on David Mills. Sammy Nelson, who was booked here in the league game. So Middlesbrough get a free kick. Souness curling it in. Comes off Rice. Bohm. Pushed out. Bohm again. Now Mills! David Mills! The man with the golden touch gives Middlesbrough the perfect start. All starting from the free kick. Stuart Bohm it was, who made life difficult for Arsenal. Jimmy Rimmer could only push it out. Bohm again, and it comes to Mills, onto the right foot. No chance for Rimmer. Comes off Alf Wood. Now Borsma. Coming inside Rice. Phil Borsma trying to do it on his own. Pulling it back for Mills. Stopped on the line, but Mills. Arsenal complain. Mills celebrates. David Mills goes across to congratulate Phil Borsma, because that goal was all about his positive running. 13 minutes gone. Phil Borsma looking to take on Peter Simpson. Gets past him, O'Leary's forced to come across, and there's space for Mills, whose first go was blocked on the line, and no mistake second time. Terry Neal there, pensive expression and indeed it's entitled to be after another poor start from Arsenal here at Ayresome Park. Brady going on, brought down by Craggs. I think a case really of too much skill for the defender. John Craggs just a little bit outskilled on that occasion and bringing the man down. The free kick taken. It comes across for McDonald. 2-1. So the original foul by Craggs is punished. And Supermac puts Arsenal back in it. The ball curled in, and they'd all gone to the near post, and everyone missed it. McDonald stoops to conquer, and it's 2-1. And now Souness, with Armstrong in the middle, and Boersma there too. Here's Armstrong, and it's 3! David Armstrong keeps up his scoring form in cup ties. Arsenal caught very square. Souness had run beautifully from the middle of the field. There were two up with him. One of them was David Armstrong, and he just needed a touch with Rimmer going the other way. And it's 3-1. Brian, the timing of the pass so important. And he got it wrong because Mills and Boersma were offside. Rice. Ross has made a forward run, goes in for Hudson. Hudson again. Now Matthews with McDonald in the middle, and Matthews has hit the post. McDonald, surely, no! Poor John Matthews, shaking his head in disbelief. And that really would have brought Arsenal back into the match and set up an outstanding finish. Matthews brilliantly striking it on the volley, beats the goalkeeper. McDonald arm raised already thinking it was going in. It came back off Bone. Another chance for McDonald, who couldn't turn enough, and it went wide. Hudson, Stapleton. Middlesbrough keeping possession. Now a chance to move forward themselves with Brian. McAndrews made a good run forward. Brian very nearly in trouble, in fact Matthews taking it away from him. Ross. Arsenal still pushing forward. Craggs. But only Wood up. And Craggs gets past Nelson. Mills is coming forward into the box too. Wood to the far post. Mills has checked out, and it goes back for Brian. Now Mills wants it into the near post. A chance for Mills, and a fine save. Could have been the hat-trick. Denied by Rimmer. But a lovely little chip from Peter Bryan. Mills had got away. It fell into his path, and Rimmer stopped it brilliantly. 2 minutes now to play. Middlesbrough 2 minutes away from a place in the draw for the 6th round. McDonald! Oh! Malcolm McDonald out of nothing, so nearly made it 3-2. Now Cooper. Still Terry Cooper. Pushed out, the hat-trick for Mills, surely! What a finish!
We were playing with such confidence at that time. You just felt as if you had to go on the park and you were going to win every game.
Yeah, we always went one goal down. Jack said at one time we have to equalise before they score.
Yeah, Jack was wonderful with his dossiers, and he'd come out with some absolute crackers, wouldn't he? He said, you know, and Jimmy Greenough used to compile the dossiers, and we were playing Wolves this day, and he said Bailey takes the corner and Bailey heads it in. He said, who was this Bailey? Bloody Superman. And it was Bailey and Daly. He'd got the names mixed up as usual.
Jack could never remember people's names. He couldn't remember, I mean, apart from the first team, to be honest. He knew all the first team players' names, but he could never remember the reserve team players' names or the youth team players.
I can remember that particular game because he'd spoken to me about Derek Dugan, who we'd played against many, many times. And Jack's dossiers used to go on for about an hour, and he said, Dugan, he said, he's all left foot. He said, whatever you do, always push him onto his right foot. I remember this particular day, he was about 35 yards out, and I pushed him onto his right foot, and I'm saying to him, go on, hit it, and he did. And it nearly took the blooming stanchion out. And I turned around the box, I looked at Jack, and he went, some you win, some you lose. So that was one occasion where his dossiers didn't quite work out.
In April 1977, Jack Charlton resigned after completing his 4-year stint in charge at Ayresome Park. He'd always said he'd only stay in the job 4 years. His successor was John Neal.
In my period at Middlesbrough, we had two good teams. It was Jack Charlton's team and it was John Neal's team.
It wouldn't be long before John Neal started to dismantle the team built by Big Jack, but most of the old faces were still in the lineup for this early encounter with Newcastle.
Perhaps with a slightly different philosophy. Down for Cassidy, through for Mickey Burns. Blocked though by Willie Madron. And Middlesbrough almost caught cold. Nicely laid through by Cassidy, and Madron just getting a foot out. An extra aerial power with Graham Oates in the lineup, coming in at the far post. And there is Oates going in, and it was scrambled away. Has the referee given a penalty? We can watch as Oates goes in. Was it a push on him? Or was it handled on the line? But the decision is a penalty kick with just seconds gone. A sensational beginning at Ayresome Park. Well, what a start for Jim Platt. On the wrong end now of a penalty, which Tommy Craig will take. Craig against Platt, and Platt saves it. So the sensation takes another turn. Driven by Craig, and Platt went the right way and pushed it out. And we've got a dog on the field as well to add to this quite unusual beginning to a First Division game. The referee saying play on. There's the intruder. And I suppose it's quite appropriate that Billy Wolf is chasing through. Surely play will have to be stopped. The dog doing more tackling at the moment than any of the Middlesbrough players. And Tommy Cassidy, who could only surely have been saying to the referee, hold up play while we get the dog off the field, being told off for his comments. Down the tunnel for an early bath, perhaps. Mahoney, nicely on for Wolf. Late push by John Bird. Wanting to take it quickly, but finding that players were still positioning themselves. Comes in towards Mills. Now, will that fall for Armstrong? Yes! David Armstrong. Came from the free kick. Craggs had delayed to make sure everyone was in position. And the knockdown came to David Armstrong, who swung a left foot. The goalkeeper may well have been unsighted. Bohm and Madron are up. And it's driven. And it's gone in from Armstrong. As everyone was expecting the cross. The decision was a direct free kick, a two-man wall, and it didn't help the goalkeeper. who could only push it in from David Armstrong, who gets his second goal.
Referee's given an indirect free kick. Up goes the arm to signify the indirect free kick. And Mills is there, and it's a corner kick. Cassidy, the man who got the goal for Newcastle United, then turns up as the saviour. Armstrong with the corner. And it's a goal. It's a goal. Bone got his head to it. Stuart Bone went up, he beat everyone. Bone headed it, but it seemed to go straight at the goalkeeper, hit the goalkeeper, and rebound into the top of the net. Comes Hudson. Craig. And a good tackle by Ramage. Cummins knocking it way across to Bailey. Armstrong wide on the left and unmarked. And a beautiful header, a lovely goal by Ashcroft. Oh, that really was magical football. Armstrong on the left, sends across the centre, and up goes Ashcroft, the man many people have said have lost the goal touch, and he rose magnificently. Gorgeous header, super goal, puts Middlesbrough 2-1 in the lead. Armstrong finds the gap, gets to Ashcroft, to Mills. Ashcroft, he's reached it and he's scored. And he's hurt himself doing it. He's hurt his knee, but he's scored. Just got a boot to it, guided it past Kevin Carr, and in doing so, he's hurt his knee. Cassidy to take the free kick, tees it up for Craig. Oh, now chance for Craggs to break. He's got Cummins with him. Now Cummins has got to be careful to keep onside. He is onside. And it's 4. Oh, that was tremendous. Oh, that gives him 10 out of 10 and 1 for neatness.
When Stan first came on the scene, he was only a little tiny lad. And Jack
He still is.
Still as tiny, I'm sure he is. He wouldn't have grown any. Jack said he'd be the first £1 million player. In fact, he wasn't, but he turned out a good player. I always remember Stan, when John Neal was manager, John left him out. We had another lad called Mickey Burns. Mickey was more experienced than Stan, and John Neal preferred Mickey to Stan in most cases. But on this particular occasion, Stan had played the week before, and he played reasonably well. But John was bringing Mickey back the next match, and Stan went to see him and about being left out. And Stan says, John said, well, you didn't play very well last week, I'm leaving you out. Stan says, well, I got 8 out of 10 in the people. So that was the story going. He got good marks in the people, so he should have kept his place.
I can remember Stan, he just got a new sponsored car off from Turnbull Garages, and coming out the old Warwick Street, the cobbled entrance, there was like railings to stop the school kids running out the school. The second morning he had the car, he just about rode it off. He was turning right and he couldn't see over the railings. The car walloped him in the side, nearly wrote the car off. 2 days later, the lad rather sarcastically had a whip round and bought him a huge foam cushion about that deep so he could sit on and see over the top of the railings.
Armstrong there with the ball at his feet. Teed up for Burns, now for Craggs. And it's a goal. No, it's not. And it's Harris. Great shot from Craggs, almost a goal. He must have got a bang on his head. And a great header and a goal. And it's Osgood who's done it. Osgood runs towards the Chelsea supporters. His first game of his comeback. He meets that lovely centre from Bumstead, meets it perfectly, and with 25 minutes gone, Osgood has put Chelsea in the lead. Wicks pushing his way past Cummins. Free kick for the Borough. Craggs to Armstrong. Out it comes to Mahoney, and that's a nasty deflection. And Proctor scored. He's equalised. Oh, he showed tremendous coolness for a youngster. Hard luck on the goalkeeper as the ball was punched out. It was a nasty deflection for him to have to take. He punched it out. It went straight to Proctor, who hammered it back home, and the Borough are level after 28 minutes. Those watching in black and white says the Borough are in the lighter strip. Tremendous throw, helped on, surely, Burns, yes! Oh, that was a tremendous throw, and it's a goal by Burns. Tremendous throw from John Craggs, and that caused consternation in the goal mouth. The ball was just nudged away, and there was Burns who hammered it back into the back of the net. Cummins, that's a beautiful ball to Armstrong, who's onside, and he gets it inside to Burns, surely number 3, yes it is. And Chelsea pulled apart in rags and tatters. And Bob Isles-One can only feel sorry for him as he sees his defence just chewed up like that. A perfect pass from Cummins through to Armstrong. Armstrong draws Wicks, gets him in 2 minds, squares the ball to Mickey Burns, and it's 3-1. And the Borough now race forward, that long one from Burns to Cummins. He's got to do it all himself. He's got a lot of shirts, and his Armstrong has scored. And that really was a beautiful goal made by Cummins. And the goals move started by Burns, who pushed the ball way out to Cummins. He had to do it all on his own. He had a forest of blue shirts around him, but he made the move inside, shot, the ball pushed out by Isles, and then up came Armstrong to apply the finishing touches, and so with 52 minutes gone, the Borough are 4-1 in the lead. It's it square to Britton. Oh, well left for Stride, and Borough are exposed a bit. Surely someone can, yes. A goal knocked in by Bumstead. And Stride, the man who made the great dash down the left wing, he pulled the ball back, and Bumstead was there to drive the ball into the net to make it 4-2 with 61 minutes gone. Bumstead gets it back to Stride. 2 men who engineered the second Chelsea goal. Burns to Mahoney, now to Cummins. Borough almost 6 forwards up, and it's a goal! And it's the hat-trick for Mickey Burns. And once again, the Cummins magic has paid off. He held the ball long enough, manoeuvred it well, chipped it inside, and the Chelsea defence once again was at 6s and 7s. Aylock getting it down to Langley, rather easily beaten. Armstrong into Burns. Proctor on his right. This is Proctor, and Cochrane's got a million miles of room. And it's a beautiful goal! Oh, that really was a corker of a goal. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Chelsea players were in the penalty area, as Cochrane cut inside, having got that beautiful ball from Proctor. He had Lashington room, he cut inside, and with 7 Chelsea players covering the goalkeeper, hit the left foot shot in off the post, and so it is now 6-2. Back it comes with Wilkins. It's Britton. Britton racing for that return pass, and he gets it now. Almost going to a lot. Suddenly, Ramage comes away and he's given it to Burns. And there's a appeal for offside, and Cochrane was never offside. Now Burns is not offside, and there's the 7th. And really, that was the dreaded end for Chelsea. They thought Cochrane, this fellow, was offside. They all stopped playing, and the linesman rightly waved play on. Cochrane gave possession, hit the ball into the middle, and there was Burns with the whole of Cleveland almost around him. All he had to do was slide the ball into the back of the net to make it 7-2 with 5 minutes to go.
It was Borough's biggest win of the season, and it came after a drunken Christmas party which left John Neal trying to fine his players a week's wages.
I was always going for a Christmas party about a couple of weeks before Christmas, because Christmas is a busy time for us. We can't go out on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever. So it's usually arranged for the Monday or the Tuesday, or the Wednesday at the latest. I think it was a Wednesday actually this time, because we usually had Wednesday off.
As usual, it wasn't Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, it was all day Wednesday, I remember that. But the apprentices, we always took the apprentices out. We paid for their meal and probably bought them a drink as well, though. They weren't allowed to drink. But anyway, everybody got drunk. The apprentices come in. Some of them, when they did turn up, they turned up the next morning at the youth hostel, which we had for them. Some of them didn't bother turning up, so they get into trouble. They were all sent home for a week and fined. Couldn't. John Neal was the manager then. He had all the pros in. He said we were finding you a week's wages and so on. And we weren't too happy about that. I was a PFA representative at the time, so I was representing the players, and I said, well, you can't find the players, because he said, well, you went out and got drunk, and you've got a match on Saturday, and so on. So anyway, we went out on the Saturday and beat Chelsea 7-2. And John's contention was that the drinking would not do us any good for the match on Saturday. But that was our best result of the season, so he hadn't a leg to stand on. We didn't get fined, and everybody lived happily ever after.
So far the football a little too fast, a little too furious. Just needs someone to put his foot on the ball and try and slow things down and control things a bit. Hudson knocking it back to Mahoney. Billy Ashcroft turning well. Oh, he's got it! Oh, just only hair's breadth wide. That was superb control by Billy Ashcroft. He turned well, he hit the ball, and I think that Neil Freeman in the Birmingham goal was completely surprised. John Mahoney, the Welsh international, allowed for the wind well then. He just hit the ball high into the wind, let it hover, easy pick up for Jim Platt. Ashcroft. Wood Hodgson getting it as a goal. That really was a good goal by Mickey Burns, but every credit to David Hodgson. He hadn't a chance of getting that ball, but it was running over the dead ball line, the goal line, covered by Gallagher, but Hodgson wouldn't be shaken off it. He fought for it, stuck out a foot, got the ball across, and the easiest of goals for Mickey Burns. And 16 minutes, the Borough are 1-up. Borough now have the appetite to keep moving on the attack. Bone moving forward, slightest opportunity. Johnson. Hudson, ball to Mahoney. Now Burns. Oh, surely Ashcroft, yes, two. That really was lovely football as the ball pushed forward to Mahoney, then to Burns. He took it well, got the defence wrong-footed, squared it into the middle, and Ashcroft completely unmarked, able to bring the ball down, knock it home for goal number 2 after 25 minutes.
But obviously the game has changed. You know, it is much faster now. The balls are faster as well. You know. I don't know whether I can stop them now. No?
It was the era of the curly perm and the sideboard, wasn't
We
it?
had long hair then, Willie. Long hair and long sideboards.
I remember Graham was saying his was natural, and I caught him under a hairdryer at Jakob and Eric's one day with the curlers in it. I said, oh yes.
Graham was one of the
natural.
first. He was one of the first people. I mean, to dye his hair and to do it with a hairdryer and that. I mean, that wasn't done then. Now everybody does it. I mean, like Gaza would dye his hair and so on, but they all have hair dryers and curlers and all sorts now. I'm not saying that's wrong. If they want to do it, why not?
Thanks for the memories.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Pleasure.